Hey team, it's Emily here. I have completed the 53 miles of the Highland Fling and I thought I would record a little video to tell you all about it, and it's not going to be super long because I actually did not take my phone. Well, I did have my phone obviously, but I didn't bring it out once. I wanted to be in the race, I wanted to be in the moment, I wanted to be focusing, so it's just me talking to the camera, but it might help somebody in future that wants to do this race. Some of the things that I found after it that helped me. So here we go. In the lead up to this race, I was excited. I was ready to go. Now, my training hadn't been perfect, up and down a little bit with all manner of things that had happened in our personal life. We had went on a cruise during the summer holidays, which was amazing. Very heavily recommend a cruise. But my husband was dancing with my daughter at a silent disco and felt a sharp pain in the back of his leg. He had torn his Achilles tendon, and that has been him for, the past like 8-9 weeks. He's been in a cast, in a boot. It's been a very topsy-turvy time, which meant at one point, well actually just before that, when he went in the cast, he ended up with a blood clot in his lung. So we ended up a lot of kind of high emotion around that time, a lot of worry. And I was like, I can't do this. I can't train for a race that's 53 miles long when I don't even know if I can get out the house and leave him because he needs help getting up and down stairs. He needs, the girls need to be taken places. But my coach was like, let's just see how things go and we'll see. So I did. And yeah, training could have been better, could have been bigger miles, but I did the best I could. My longest training run was probably about 18 miles in total. But I did a lot of like runs, maybe doubling up, running the next day. I just did what I could. I got out early. You just make it happen. And because I was so focused on wanting to complete this, I made it my mission to do so. So on the lead up to the race, I felt that I had done everything in my power that I could to be ready. I had all my kit packed, I had absolutely everything ready to go, and I was actually feeling really good on the morning. I'd slept well, been at the toilet, I had my breakfast, so I was okay. And we started off in Milgai, felt absolutely fine. And then I met my friend Helen that I know via Instagram, and she does all the stuff for the Active Route. We were chatting for a couple of minutes and then I let her go because I could just tell she was faster than me, and she was an hour ahead of me when we finished. So I made a very wise decision there. Top tip, run your own race. Don't feel that you have to keep up with someone or slow down for someone. Just be focused on yourself. Say hello and pass when you have to. So I let her kind of carry on, got myself into a little rhythm, and 2 miles in, went flying, totally tripped over, I don't even think anything, skint my hands and knees. They were burning like crazy. But I had a buff around my wrist, so that actually worked really well, just to like a makeshift bandage. But I was fine. I was like, I can't pull out of a race 2 miles in because of sore hands and a knee. So my knee wise, it wasn't like an injury, it was just more scuffed. Anyway, sorry, I digress. About 4 or 5 miles in, I could start to feel a little slight burning sensation in the inside of my left foot. So when I got to the first checkpoint at the beech tree, I've got my little printout of my times here, so reminding myself of the check-ins. When I got to the beech tree, I put on some Compeed and got that sorted. Started running again, I was like, I think I've put Compeed on the wrong bit because it's not completely went away. So when I got to Drim in the second checkpoint, I fixed it again. I put another patch on, then I wrapped my foot in KT tape and sorted. Absolutely fine. I had a glorious section up until Conic Hill. Conic Hill was absolutely fine. It was a lovely day, gorgeous day. I mean, not a breath of wind at that point. We came up and over. I'm really slow in the descent in Conic Hill, but took my time. New Balmaha checkpoint was right at the bottom. Got my drop bag, went to the loo. Everything was fine. Carried on towards Riverdenning. Now I have done parts of that section before. I've probably ran up until just beyond Salakey campsite, the little woodlands campsite. After that it was quite tough. I don't know if it's because the lack of knowledge of that section, but it was very, big steps, quite a lot of climbing. There was some steep downhills, but I was so desperate to get to Riverdenning. Plus the heat had came up a little bit. So I was thirsty. I had Tailwind in one bottle, water in the other, and I was completely out by the time I got to Riverdenning. But I started to find that Tailwind, although I love it, it makes me quite thirsty. So when I got to Riverdenning, I got 2 bottles of water, got two flasks of water, but in one of them I put an electrolyte tablet in it, and you know, that was like a game changer for me. I had it tailwind later on, but I felt like I needed almost like a bit of a swap out every now and again. So that was absolutely fine. Riverdale and Timbersnade was, you know, up and down again. We took the high roads and a bit of climbing, but I quite enjoy the start of the Lochside here. I got to Timbersnade, my friend was there to surprise me, Claire, and I have never been so happy to see her in my life. I mean, I love seeing her, love running with her, but to see her was immense. Got to the checkpoint there, switched everything out, had a really quick chat, and you feel bad, somebody's came all that way, but you're like, I'm not hanging about, I need to go. Headed off. One thing I kept forgetting to do at a checkpoint was like kind of run through what I needed. I did have things like I would switch things out, leave stuff I didn't need, but I kept forgetting to empty my rubbish. So my left hand thigh pocket in my shorts was my rubbish pocket. See, by the end of the race, it was huge. I kept forgetting to empty it, and that really annoyed me. So the next section is my favourite, Lochside. If you're going to do this race, I would highly recommend you practice on this, just so that you know what to expect. It is up, down, a bit scrambly, technical, tripping on tree roots, tripping on rocks. You don't really get a lot of running, but if you can try and master moving quicker through it, you'll do great. If you end up in a long train of folk, it is quite difficult. I was quite lucky. I was only in maybe like two in front, and they would stop and let me by. It seemed to be a section that I was quite comfortable in, plus I knew what to expect. So that passed really quickly. So that was like 34 miles to 41 miles, and and it's not all Lochsides, so just don't panic, but it totally took my mind away. So I felt like I moved through the 30 odd miles to 40 with not much thought about it, because I knew the section to Benglass. Benglass was our last drop bag checkpoint, so I didn't even take anything really out my bag at this point. I think I took a baby bell, that was about it, and then emptied the rest of my bag on the table. Fun fact, there was an avocado on the table. I want to know the person who brought an avocado to the Highland Fling, because I'm just thinking, how are you eating that? Just dry? I don't know, I feel like it'll be good fats, but like seriously, I don't know if I could eat it with nothing else. Anyway, I digress. So heading off from Benglass was a little bit of a slog. It's quite like a long section coming out of the campsite, and then a couple of big climbs, but we turned this corner and I came across this tiny little tunnel that you go through, that I remember seeing on a Wild Heart run that we did from Tyndrum out and back. And see, once I knew where I was like, I can do this. I can absolutely do this. So the rest of my run was actually pretty good, because I knew they had some steep climbs. I knew it would be up and down, a little roller coaster all the way. And the last checkpoint at Bogle Glen, I just got a flask of Coke, and it was immense. So the Coke really helped through the last section. I managed to run loads in that section, managed to pick people off as well as I was running by them. The Coke wasn't completely flat, so I had a lot of burping going on, but you know what? There's something actually really satisfying about a really good burp. So because you're kind of on your own as well, I was just like burping away, quite my heart's content. And the last mile was tough, but we got there, tears. My friend Annika was there, my friend Nikki was right at the end, one of the volunteers. She helped me loads because you're totally disorientated, but if you are going to do this race, the finish line is absolutely epic. So enjoy it and just love it. Lessons I've learned: take less in your backpack. You have drop bags, but to be honest, say for 53 miles, I didn't need as much real food as I thought. I had a banana coming up Conic Hill, which was lovely. I really enjoyed that, but I overpacked in terms of my drop bags. All I would say is, sort out your hydration, make sure that you're taking in plenty of fluids. But the other thing is you don't need as much food, plus there's so much leftover food as well. So if you don't fancy what you've got, you can always switch something out. But it felt like the last checkpoint, I literally just emptied my bag out on the table. So I would definitely learn for that. Feet issues did plague me throughout. So taking care of my feet before I go, there's a great podcast, Fix Your Feet. So I've been listening to that, and I'm going to take that into like my next event that I do, because I really want to learn from that. Practice as much as you can with your kit so that nothing is new on the day. And just focus on your race. Like, I think if I took my phone out loads, I'd have been distracted. I'd never done a distance like this. I'd never done anything like this. So I think just having a clear focus on what I was doing really helped me as well. But I am super proud, and I even when I look back now, I don't think, I could have ran better there, I could have done that. I did exactly what I could do. And my only real mantra was, I am Emily effing Jackson, and I will keep moving forward until I can't. And that's all I kept thinking. If I'm walking, I'm still moving forward. If I'm running, I'm moving forward. So sometimes you just need a really simple message to get into your head and you've got it. So enjoy this. I hope this was helpful. If you're doing this in a future year, maybe these little tidbits will help you. But whatever it is, enjoy your race.